Welcome to my YouTube channel today, and thank you for being here with me. I haven't wanted to record this week. When I started my YouTube channel, I put on my banner on the top of it. It says, "The truth shall make you free." I think that's what it says. And I'm my whole life I've just been seeking and searching, and I just want truth. And as as I as I walk the path with Jesus Christ, he shows me, and he's helping me to see, his path is very straight and very narrow, and it really is truly simple. And the world really complicates it. And so many of the structures that we're born into really complicates it, and it distracts us from just that really simple purity and truth. And so as I surrender my life to him, and as I seek to be closer to him, he continues to show me things. Last week, I think it was last week, time is just, what is time? But recently, um, I've been really recognizing and seeing and praying about pride. And because it's just one of the deepest, darkest rooted things within us that keeps us disconnected from God. And I don't want that. I don't want anything within me that disconnects me from him or that keeps me from serving him fully. And so, you know, last week, and it's been a little bit, it could be 2 weeks, I don't even know. But I'm just like, I just keep opening my heart, just like, show me where and what. And so over the past week or so, I've been really heavy in my spirit. It's been really I've been really tired and really exhausted, and I've just been open to seeing things about myself, and I think it's all very connected. Because as as we truly ask to be shown things about ourselves, God does. And he does that through experiences that happen in our lives, and he does that through the people in our lives and the experiences that they're going through. And so I've had an opportunity over the past, week or so to have many things happen in my life that is just showing me again where I want to control things, where I think that things should be a certain way, or my expectations, I may have expectations about things and it's not going the way I think that they should go. It's really easy to get in that type of dynamic with our children. Like, we want to control our children's lives, and we think that we know what is best for their lives. And I'm talking about children who are adults. Um, you know, he shows me these things within my heart that I'm still trying to be the one that's running the show in other people's lives. And it's just so amazing to me, because it makes us have resistance to what is. And it just brings up a lot within us. Um, I grew up in a very codependent family. We have ancestral addictive tendencies and behaviors. And so from the time that I was just a very small child, I had older brothers and sisters who were drug addicts, um and so I just learned the behaviors. I learned the ways that, parents deal with children with drug addiction, and or don't know how. I mean, because none of us know truly, especially in the 80s and 90s. Like, we just didn't have the knowledge that we have today. And so, you know, I grew up and I learned a lot of codependent ways of thinking, and being in relationship with other people. And there's so much, it's all about control. I don't know if y'all can hear the siren going on. It's very loud. And so those types of thought patterns, those types of recordings are really deep within me, and I recognize and I understand that they're not healthy, and they're not good, and they don't help me or anyone around me. And so God just he shows me where these things are still coming into play, and it's just very interesting. I was sitting here this morning and journaling, and just there's so much I don't know. I listen to podcasts, I listen to people, and they're just so knowledgeable about the spirit world and just so knowledgeable about things, and it's like I sometimes I'm like I question things because I'm like, okay, things are the spirit world. How does someone know that? Because there's a lot of deceptive things as well. And so we do have to have discernment. And so I sit and I'm like, I don't know everything. I don't understand all of these things. I don't know that these things that I'm hearing are true. If they are, I want to understand. I want to incorporate things within my own life that are good, that are holy, that are right. Um, and so as I'm sitting here this morning, I was journaling about all these things, and just the way that I am such a seeker, and I do knock. I do. I have so much within me that I'm just like, I just want to be pure. I just want to be this vessel that, and yet I have all this stuff within me that I don't want there. And I see it. And so as I'm sitting here, in my prayer, in my thoughts, listening to worship music, and so I'm in a worshipful state, wanting to just surrender myself to God and just show me these things about myself, the pride within me, the resistance within me. It's so amazing because in that moment, whenever I was in that spirit of being and asking, my husband comes out and interrupts me. He needed a shot and wanted me to give him a shot. And so I got a little aggravated and irritated that I was being interrupted from what I was doing. And so I help him and I do that, and he goes back in, and he apologized for interrupting me and stuff. And so then I'm sitting here and I'm like, I just started crying because it was just another one of those opportunities that it's like I'm knocking, and it's as though Jesus walked in. Not that my husband's Jesus, but it is as if I'm giving an opportunity that I am knocking, and Jesus is walking through the door, asking for my help, asking for my love, my what I can do, and I was resistant to it. And I was irritated because I was being interrupted from what I was doing, trying to be in the spirit. And it just broke me. I'm just like, why is that even there? Why do I have such a resistance? And of course, after I cried, I went into my husband and I expressed to him what I was experiencing and stuff. And it's just these little things that's within us, that's just little hard places that we want to control our life. We want to control our experiences. We want to control even our spiritual walk with God. And He's like, we're knocking and He's answering. But are we open to it? Are we open with love to receive the lessons that He's bringing to us? Or are we resisting it? I'm just like, oh my goodness, one more thing. But it's pride. That was a prideful thing within me. That was an egoic thing within me that I was not open to God giving me an experience like to be of service with love and with patience and with understanding. Instead, I was caught up in my own moment. Even though I'm sitting here with my scriptures and with worship music and trying to connect and journal, like it's the life. It's being in our life in that servant and with that servant's heart. And I'm just like, and he's just breaking it. He's breaking it more and more and more open. And I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful that he shows me these things about myself, the ways that I'm still holding on, different ways to controlling. I mean, I really thought like a year ago, I was like, I'm so surrendered, and but man, it's it's a daily walk. It's a daily walk, being in this world and just with so much that's happening in this world and being able to show up in love and not be divided. There's it's heavy. The world is very heavy. I think too that has affected me a little bit as well. Just reading news stuff and just the world being heavy. And I'm going through a thing like God is working with me. He's showing me that I hold back out of fears. And if he's going to use me as a voice for him, I can't be afraid of people. And I recognize how I came into this world as a very, like, I don't know if it was taught me. I think it was just me. I think it just came into this world just very shy, very reclusive, very, like, my voice has just always been kind of people talk over me. Like if I'm in a crowd and I go to speak and people just talk over me, and so my voice has kind of been like ignored and shut down and things. And so it has made it very difficult for me to have a voice to speak. And I know though that I do have a lion within me that I have a voice that needs to say things that that other people may not agree with, and it's totally okay. That I don't have to be afraid of the fire. I don't have to be afraid of the bullets and the arrows and the swords that come towards me, because I have God, because I have Jesus and the Holy Spirit. And as we align ourselves with them, it's not about church, it's not about religion, it's not about all the doctrines, it's not about just so much stuff in this world that we learn. It's just not. Those things can help to teach us and can help to bring us to them, and it can help us to make covenants with them. It can teach us, but it can also keep us separated from them, because we can get very caught in the performances and the doing of so much that we can find ourselves doing in churches and in religions. And that's not a bad thing if it's connecting us to him. And if it gives us those opportunities to serve people around us. So they're wonderful, and I love churches, I love religion, like, and I also recognize in my own life how there's been a lot that has kept me from really truly having a personal, aligned relationship with them and being able to fully surrender to them. Because a lot of times surrendering to God looks different than what I'm told I should or should not be doing from churches. And so then there's like that whole battle in the mind. It's like, oh, wait, well, my church says this, but God says this. And then there's judgment from people at church, but God says this. So how can I, where, it's just very, very interesting, this walk that I have found myself on with God and with Jesus and with the Spirit, and breaking down all of these things that I've learned. One thing that throughout my life, an example that I can give you is marijuana is a plant. In my 20s, I used marijuana for the first time, and I used it as it was like a tool I recognized, and I used it as an escape from my life. And but as I learned about it and as I use it throughout my life, I recognized the medicinal benefits of it, that I would, be put on all these medications of Xanax and just all these different benzos and antidepressants and mood stabilizers and just all these different things. And they would have so many side effects, and they would affect me in different ways. And then the doctor would want to put me on another medication to counteract the other, and so I would find myself on all these pills. Yet I could use this one plant and it would do all these things, and I wouldn't have side effects the way that all these pills caused. And so I battled with that because I knew that there was an herb of the earth that was helping me, or, all these pills that's man-made that's causing all these side effects. And I mean, I truly wrestled for years, and I would fast and I would pray and I would talk to church leaders, and I just wanted to do what was right and what was good for my body, my mind, my spirit, and everything. And when I would use marijuana during the times whenever I would use it as a medicine to help me in my life, it did. I wanted to pray. I wanted to serve. I wanted to read my scriptures. It moved me towards God. Like it made me feel light. It helped me in those ways. Yet I had so many people around me telling me that I was doing something wrong, that I was doing something bad, that I was not worthy, that I was just all these different things. And I'm like, but God is good with it. Like, He has given this to me. And I feel the difference in my life. I'm experiencing the difference in my life. I know that it is a good thing. It is a good herb of this earth. And yet, the same people will be like, well, go to the doctor and get on the benzo, that affects your memory and that does all these other different side effects, and it's just like, I gained my own understanding, my with my own faith and trust and belief and prayer and fasting for myself, that it was good for me during the seasons of my life. It's not today. It's not a thing that I use or need today. I mean, I may on occasion, but it's not something that that I need today, or that I even want, because I really love clarity of mind. I really like having a clear mind. But during those years that I had not gotten to the point where I am today of understanding and healing and working through so much internal stuff, it was a blessing in my life. And I know that God was part of that. And people around me were against it. And I had to follow God for my life, for what was best for me, regardless of what family, friends, people, church thought about it. So there are those things, that are aligned with God that may not be aligned with the people around us, but that's okay, because everyone has their own walk and their own understanding and their own experiences in this life. And so I'm just grateful for the experiences that I've had personally in my own life. I'm grateful that He just continues to show me that I'm able to see where I'm holding on to pride within my life, pride of, you know my own fears of whatever anybody may do or say or think or have opinions about. That's just, it's pride. I don't want my pride to get hurt. And like, that's gotta go. And he is working, and it's a process, and he's having me to share it openly with the world for whatever reason. It is all just a process. Yeah, and I have not wanted to record over this past week. I've been reading my I've been doing, the Bible study, the parables every day. And so I've, I've been doing all of the things. I haven't stopped doing all of the things. But I've just had that heavy spirit, and I just haven't wanted to. But I know that if I get away from it, it makes it harder to do it. And I know that it's important to share the process that I'm going through for whatever reason. I don't have to know. That's the thing about it, is I don't have to know. It's my part is just to show up and to share. And I'm like, so many times I'm like, what is my niche? My niche, whatever that word is. I just don't have one. I know that a lot of people have begun following me from like my Catholic reaction videos. And so I know I have like a Catholic people listening to me. But there's so much more to me. And I don't know where this is going to go or going to become, but I just know that there's something's happening, and now I'm just in the process, and he's continuing to just strip things away, softening my heart, burning stuff away, dropping that oil in, and I'm so grateful for that, because as I burn brighter, as I work through things within my life and I share those things, it has an impact on the people around me. And I'm seeing miraculous things happen in the lives of people around me. And I am so grateful for that. I have so much gratitude. That is one thing that, as we go through these dark, heavy periods, is like to hold on to the things that we know work and that get us through. And that is gratitude is a huge thing. Like gratitude, continuing in meditation, continuing in prayer and in the scriptures and in journaling and taking care of our body, eating healthy, drinking water, just all the little things that we know to do. Because this life is about the mountains and the valleys. I've spent a lot of time on mountaintops in blissful states of receiving and just filled with so much joy. And so whenever I get into these states where I feel really heavy and there's like a darkness and like a depressive feeling within me that's like surrounding me, I just have to remember that it's all for a reason, that it's okay. I don't have to push it away, because I'll find myself like praying, like, just take it away. Please take this away. I don't want to feel this. I don't want to experience it. But I've learned in my life that we have to feel these things. We have to feel the pain that is within us. We have to see and experience like the pride within my heart. I've sat here pretty much all morning just crying about things that I just see that I'm holding on to. And I'm just like, oh, just break it off. Just break me open so that it can just get out of me. And then that happened with my husband, and I'm like, oh, there's another, it's still there, like, help me. And it's still gonna be there. That's the thing about it. It's like, but he continues to show us. And it's being open and asking to have eyes to see and the ears to hear and to do, as as we're receiving and seeing and hearing, that we do something about it. So that is kind of where I am at the moment. I've been like sharing videos like every day for like a month or two, and so I just wanted to kind of share where I am at the moment. And I do have I I do have another video I'll share later today, um, about my experiences that I've had with going to the cathedral and my Bible study and stuff, because it's been really good. But hang in there, all of us, because this life, it is, if you're not experiencing the valleys and the mountains, it's like we just it's not always good to just be comfortable in this life. We need things happening in our lives to to help us. Like, I was talking to my son the other day that we need relationships in our lives. We can't just sit in solitude and by ourselves. Like, we need relationships in our lives so that we can learn from one another, and so that we can have hard conversations and go through the hard challenges, to see things about ourselves and to work through things with other people. So it's all so good. It really is. I'm grateful for the light. I'm grateful for the dark. I'm grateful for all the experience that shows me and teaches me just more about myself, and more about God, and more about His power and His light and His love, and that, like, He's always there. He's always there. I'm really grateful for that. Until next time.